Hey there, welcome. It is March 8th, Monday, 2021. 2 weeks of sunshine under our belt. Hey, welcome to the show. My name is Les Sulgrove. This is 15-minute market update from Simply Des Moines, and let's jump right in to see what happened this past week. Home inventory is back on the downward turn. We're down to 1,803 homes this week as of yesterday. That's down 37 compared to last week. Our days on market is actually also dropping. We're down to 15 days on market, which if anybody's been out there in the field, you know exactly what's happening. There's tons and tons of buyers out there and very, very few listings. So it's just getting crazy out there. We got a little over 1 month of inventory, which also means that the pace is really picked up. Our homes under contract are on the rise. We're over 3,100 right now, and we're going to be close to record territory in about 2 or 3 weeks at this pace. So hang on to that. We're really close to another milestone with closed year-to-date sales, and I'm sure that'll be coming up here, if not later today, Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. We'll bust through that 2,000 closed sale amount there, and our median sale price is holding pretty close there to that 225. So top story this week. Hey, it was 1 year ago this past week on March 3rd that COVID-19 pandemic was officially confirmed in the state of Iowa. The first case were 3 individuals who had been on a cruise. And if you remember back all that far time back, it seems like cruises were really the one of the main spots where the virus had really taken hold in that close proximity. Anyway, they came back home to Johnson County on March 3rd, and that's when they were kind of picked up that they had the COVID virus, and we all know what happened after that. So the blue mask has become the sign here. We're all pretty much wearing masks anymore, and although we have made the turn, so let's hope that 2021 is going to end a little better than 2020. Okay, so the other top story this week is just kind of a flashback to last week's topic of how many homes are hitting the market. The reason it's a top story is we're just still not getting the number of homes in the market that we should be right now. You can see this past week on week 9, we added 220 homes to the market in nothing but perfect sunshine, warm weather all week long. And we should have had closer to 300, and we ended up with 220. So this next week here, this coming week at week 10, this is going to be a tough one to beat at this pace. A year ago, we brought in 426 new homes on the market, and we're going to have to really push hard to do that. Take a quick peek at the weekend review. Listings are down, as I mentioned. We only added 220 this past week. That's 69 down from a year ago. Price increases are back up. I think this is just going to be a yo-yo in this price point or in this category, because new builders each week seem to be adding more inventory, even though our inventory isn't going up, but they're adding inventory, or of their existing inventory, they are increasing prices due to material costs. And you can see we've had 174 versus 131 from a year ago. So that March 1st date is kind of that timeline when they tend to change their pricing. Price increases, we're still seeing some, but we're down by about half over what we normally are. And the reason is why is because we don't have any inventory to produce. Those homes that are on the market are not lasting long enough to even be concerned about a price reduction. We did bring on 344 new sales this past week, which is 122 up from a year ago. And our back on market rate is bubbling up slightly to 18%, which is just 2 over a year ago. And like I said earlier, we're going to be awful close to hitting that 2,000 year-to-date closed sales. Open houses this past week, we saw a little uptick in resale opens. We had 108 this week, and new construction dropped by about 40% from a year ago, down to 283. We're right at about 50% capacity on open houses. And, most of that is just due to the fact we don't have the inventory. So the spotlight this week, we were going to talk a little bit about what happened in the month of February. And this graphic, blue and yellow, or blue and gold, this is an indication that we are predominantly in a seller's market all across the board, with the exception of 3 price categories above 900 and above $1 million, And then that $700,000 to $800,000 price point, we were right on the edge of being a seller's market, but the even market from 700 to 800 and 900 and up is in an even market. And I suspect that we're going to see this continue to drop. Look at that number down there at the $100,000 to $200,000 price point. We have just about a half a month of inventory down there. So 15 days is all it's going to take to sell everything out that we've currently got for sale on that price point. In the month of February, we brought on 566 new listings and put under contract 13 and 11, not quite 3-to-1. But man, that's the pace we're on. Just huge numbers of homes going under contract and very, very few homes coming on. We're going to be in a little trouble here if we don't start getting some more. And I've got a graphic here that's going to show you that in a second. We closed 717 went in the books, probably a few more than that once the sales start to come in from the end of the month. But 717 homes went closed, and moving vans and moving companies are quite busy. So this is the all homes listed for sale versus 2020 and 2019. I just like to show you this because it's quite the spread between the red line is 2021. You can just see how far down we are, and still downward trending. It's starting to worry me a little bit because after April of this last year, you saw the whole end of the year from April on, we were in a downward trend, and we are still in that downward trend now that we've come into 2021. We don't have much farther to go before we are going to get, really, really desperate for listings out there. And, we just got to have more listings come on the market here because we certainly have the buyer demand. The median list price is also, supply and demand. You have low supply, you have high demand, it's driving pricing up. So our median list price this past week pushed above $290,000 just on the median. And of course, that's all properties again. So we're picking up some of that new construction inventory in this list. But if you look at that compared to 2020 in the blue line, at this time last year, we were at about 265 or so, and we're a little over 290,000. So a little over $30,000 bump in the median list price. And again, a lot of that's because all we have really that keeps coming on is new construction. Days on market, again, we're way down. If you look at, just prior to COVID hitting this last week. So, next week on is going to be kind of, will be post-COVID hitting. But you can see that, we're under 20 days on the market across the board. That's everything, new construction, everything, resale, 20 days on the market, median days on market, where we were almost above 50 days on market a year ago at this time. So just a testament how the market is just really hurting in that respect. Median sale price is also up over last year, although it's starting to bubble downward just a little bit. Some of that is the lower, what little inventory we are getting that's resale is coming on as the lower end. So therefore some of that lower end is starting to sell. And then you see it's kind of bubbling back upward, which, it's kind of the natural tendency. We kind of slow down. It drops in the first couple of months, and then it starts to pick up as the medium and the upper price points kind of pick up. But we're just having a little tough time there. So we're median sale price right now is about $225, and that's well above what we're used to for this time of year. I think this is the last slide of this set is months of inventory. Again, heading down towards 1 month of inventory overall. And when you consider this is all properties, new construction, condo, townhome, resale, everything, 1 month of inventory when we're normally around, 2.5 to 3 months at this point in time. We just are selling everything at such a fast pace. So next week, we're going to change gears just a little bit next week. We're going to talk about how the market is adapting. I mean, some of the practices that are going on, and some of them I'm actually taking on myself, how homes are being marketed differently this year in a pandemic. And, so you might see some days on market just bubble up just slightly because there's several agents out there doing some different marketing, as well as buyers. Agents are out there doing some creative practices with something called an escalation clause. If you're not familiar with that, you probably will be soon. So anyway, that's the show this week. I hope you enjoy and you're getting something out of this each week. I'm coming up on 1 year here in April that I've been doing this show, and it's been my pleasure to try to bring some sense out of insensibility here that we've got going with our market. So we will see you all next Monday at Simply Des Moines Stats, either on Facebook Live or on YouTube. So thanks again for joining me. Please subscribe, and we'll talk to you all again next week.